Mike, what's going on? I got your first set of grades back from university with the tuition we ended up paying for that. Fill me in on what happened.
I think it went really well. I think I had a pretty good semester. I made a lot of friends. I kind of learned what college was about. Yeah, I think I did pretty well.
It feels like this was kind of in the range of kind of your best case scenario for you.
Well, I didn't get all A's, like I thought I could, but there was a lot of stuff that, I guess I wasn't expecting, and I thought I'd be, you guys would help me be more prepared for. I had to network a little bit. Everyone says it's about who you know, so I'd go out at night and hang out with friends and, have a beer or something. I met a lot of great people, though. A lot of great people who believe I can still be a great video game designer. They bounce ideas off me and things like that. I had a great time. I learned a lot, and I'm ready for the next semester.
So, when we're talking before, and this is kind of getting us both up to speed, it looks like you're having kind of a rough morning. It's almost like there was kind of the best case scenario. It's like, I'm nailing it out, A's across the board. And then like the worst case scenario was like kind of B's across the board, and that's, you're going to get A's, it's not even B's. And then I was saying, what if we got kind of close to the edge and you're like, dude, it's not going to happen. And then looking through the grades part of it, what do you make of this with kind of the 1.0 on the GPA piece?
There were a few things that I think you guys kind of set me up for failure. Like, I had classes at 8 o'clock. There's no video game designer, nobody in programming that wakes up before 9. So I kind of felt like that was, I don't know if that was intentional or what, but I'm not going to wake up before 9, and that's just part of the job, and that's what video game designers do. And then, I just get used to college. Some of the professors were kind of really strict about stupid stuff, and I just kind of had to learn the ropes. But I have a lot of good friends. They taught me a lot. We go out, we'll have a beer, we'll talk, and some of them are going to tutor me next semester and help me get through it. And I think it's a good plan, and it was a good first semester.
And for you, it was like socially, you kind of hit it out of the park. It's like kind of things you were looking for in terms of networking and those things. It feels like, wow, you just kind of nailed that. We're able to kind of get the social networking down.
Yeah. About going back to who you know. I know lots of people now, and lots of good people.
And in some ways, it feels like in the whole process, when you're looking at the whole situation, you did everything you needed to, and it's almost like in a lot of ways you're feeling like DVR just kind of set you up and you failed because of DVR.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit I do.
And when we step back even further from that and look at kind of what's happened, it's like, you came in looking for a job, and so we kind of set you up with, GatePath, and you were doing some of the stuff around there with application with a job, and that didn't work. And so you felt like kind of got set up with that. And then you're like, you know what, I'll get A's and B's in education. So we kind of went down that path. And since some of the class got scheduled earlier, then you felt like you got set up with that. And it feels like this just hasn't lined up. And you really believe that, you've stepped up 110% and done everything that you kind of committed to.
Yeah, I do feel like I really did. And, I think one more semester with classes at a decent time, and now that I know where the classes are and what professors to take and not take, I think I'm going to do well.
Help me understand a little bit with this, because you had a class started at 10, 11 here that I'm looking at, and that was a D and an F on those two. And so that, and you're really feeling like 110%. Walk me through kind of the 110% of what happened with kind of the semester with the classes that were kind of later in the day, and one of the two that you were actually really interested in.
Well, I still feel like I can go in there and pass any test, but they want me to show up every day. They want me to, for stuff I already know, they want me to show up every day. They want me to write reports, which is just busy work.
It's almost kind of like the same expectations from high school that they had for you. Some of the same ones that you kind of ran into.
A little bit, yeah. I thought college was going to be a little bit more, professional or adults or whatever, Okay. But they treat me like a kid. I'm going to act like, I'm not going to be able to show them what I can do. So.
Okay. And so, and this was the thing. Remember last time we were talking about this, it's like, your worst case scenario and then kind of DVR's worst case scenario. And this falls more in kind of that DVR's worst case scenario. And it's, you know, when I keep thinking of you and you wanting the supports and, you know, what are ways that VR can support you in that process. And then just kind of your take on the whole 110% thing. Because what it seems like now it's shifting from you being at 110% to kind of how everybody else kind of set you up. And I'm still, my brain's still kind of struggling with, you know, what are your thoughts about that? What kind of happened for the part that you were going to step up on, and like these kind of people are coming at you and kind of knocking the chair out from underneath you. Fill me in on that, kind of your afternoon classes. What happened there?
Well, you know, when the morning classes, when they were at 8 o'clock and I started missing them, I knew I wasn't going to do well in those classes because I wasn't going to get up in time. And, you know, and again, I think that's you guys' fault. But then, you know, as I knew I wasn't going to do well in those, the later ones they weren't as important to me either, because I knew you know, if I wasn't going to do well in the morning ones, you know, it wasn't really going to matter if, you know, you guys would probably just set me up, you know, say you got 2 Fs, you know, you're done. So.
And so for you, it just makes more sense kind of in those situations to just kind of quit, it just is like, let's not have the stress, let's just kind of quit and kind of throw it all away. Is that kind of, it just makes it easier for you in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys were gonna stop helping me anyway, why would I try in those other classes, you know?
And there's part of it that feels like the DVR hasn't stepped up and helped you, like with, you know, kind of covering some of the expenses and doing some of the training. It's just been like, you know, it's been kind of a setup from the beginning for you.
A little bit, yeah.
All right. So if it was going to be different this time, and knowing that you and I were pretty clear about the whole kind of, if we get too far off the edge with the school thing, and you had the choice to go and you had the choice to not go, and it didn't play out so well, what are your thoughts about how it would be different from here on out?
I think I'll do better. I mean, I think you know, I just got to schedule it at the right times with the right professors, and I think I'll do great. I know video game designing is what I should do. You know, some of these classes, I don't know why I have to take them. They don't make any sense to me. I don't need them for what I want to do. So you know, if I take the right classes, I know I'll do well.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you make this thing about, because you did have computer classes later in the afternoon of not passing that, what's your take on that?
You know, they were studying some things that I wasn't as familiar with as, you know, the video game design stuff. You know, they had me studying stuff that wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be, and you know, so I started not to do well in those morning classes, and I just didn't try as hard in those. I don't know why I need that for the type of job I want to go into.
All right. And this is the part that I think is really going to be interesting in kind of our conversation, to be able to be helpful for you, is you do feel set up on so many different levels. And there's part of you that, that when you look at the way you did in school, you do feel like you gave 110%. And the part that I really respect that you keep bringing up is, you know, what's DVR going to do, what's DVR going to do, what's DVR going to do, and that, I think, is kind of the relationship that we have here. And that's why I feel really good about how clear we were in the beginning about what DVR could do and what DVR couldn't do for you. And it's like, where was the partnership going to be piece of it? And so when you think of it from the partnership piece of it, as far as the agreement you and I had, what's your take on that piece? Like, you know, I was saying, you were so sure that it's like, dude, B, worst case scenario. And B right now would be kind of best case scenario situation. And I mean, you're a smart kid, you know that. So I'm kind of curious, what do you think about this? Because it's like I said, if we get too close to the edge, or even a toe starts going off the edge, DVR's responsibility in our partnership with you is going to be like, we're going to have to take a different path or approach here. And so what are your thoughts about that?
You know, I still feel like you guys kind of set me up for failure with, you know, sending me to Bob, because I don't think he did anything, and I think that's a joke. Then you guys send me to college, and, you know, I don't feel like you guys 100% prepared me for that. I understand I didn't get all A's like I said I was going to do. You know, maybe if I just scale the classes back a little bit and just take 2 instead of 4 or something like that, I can do a lot better. You know, it's just learning what I need to do, you know, and you guys helping me, because I'm still waiting for that, you know. You guys talk about tuition, and but that, you know, you set me up for 8 o'clock classes too, you know. So,
you know, and from listening to this, and I think just for the respect that I have for all the you know, process you've been through and how hard you've been working on things, in some ways what I hear you saying is that like VR doesn't work, it's not the right service for you. It's like you've got some ideas, you've got some plans you want to go on, and all these kind of hoops that DVR makes you jump through is like, dude, this isn't working for me. DVR is not the best fit for me. You know, I know what I need to do. I've made some good connections, and jumping through your stupid little hoops, or you know, all these things that you guys don't support me. And it's like, gosh, is this the right service or resource for you when you've got some good ideas of how you can get there? So, I mean, what's your take on that?
Maybe that is what I need. I mean, maybe it's jumping through these hoops, which is why I'm, you know, getting set up for failure. I don't know. Maybe things would be a lot easier without you guys.
That's what I'm wondering, because you've got some good drive inside of you. You've got some good support out there. You've got friends that really support kind of, you know, your ideas and things. And there's some kind of barriers within DVR that just aren't going to change. You know, there's some flexibility, and it's like, it looks like, I think when you look through it and I look through it and we're looking at it together, it's like, you know, there's some flexibility in VR, and there's been some flex there, but it doesn't flex all the way around your entire life the way that you know will support you the best. And so it's like, and we can't move some of the DVR boundaries any more than we have, and which kind of frustrates you even more.
Yeah, because you guys, I mean, you've helped some of my friends through school, you've helped some of my friends get jobs, and you guys haven't done anything for me.
Yeah, and this was why I think it makes even more sense with what you're talking about. It's like, this just doesn't work for you. DVR process just is not the best process for you getting to where you want to go.
Yeah, maybe not.
So, you know, one of the things we can do too is that if you kind of go out there and figure out, there's grants out there. One of the things is you and I can look into some resources before you kind of, you know, before we kind of close your case, and you can always have your case reopened. But one of the things you can look at is, you know, if you've got these great computer skills, you're already developing games, there might be some scholarships out there for you. There might be some ways of kind of getting access to other funds. And then, you know what? You're not as beholden, or you're not stuck with all these kind of processes DVRs making you go through that you really feel aren't helpful for you.
Yeah, because I think your program's bunk. I think it sets people up for failure.
It just doesn't fit for you.
No,
I
don't think it fits for a lot of people.
Yeah. And so that's what you're thinking, is it's like, it's not fitting for me. The thing that makes the most sense to me is like, let's get out of here. Let me get started with my life. Get out of my way, kind of a thing. It seems like that'd be helpful for you.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
All right, great. Then what we can do is we just kind of agree to kind of close your case, and then, like I said, if there's ever a time you're thinking maybe VR could be helpful for me in the future, it sounds like it probably won't be. You've got some good ideas from here.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have a pamphlet on what it is you guys can do, that would be helpful.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
Definitely. We can shut your case, and I can give you some more information about VR, and maybe we can pick it up from there.
Okay.